What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is William Rivera, and in this channel we talk about making money online. But in this video specifically, I want to bring it all the way back to where it all started, and I want to talk about my story because I feel like some of you guys may be able to resonate with this and you might find some gems along the way. So I'm not going to tell you the whole story because I don't want to bore you to death, but I'm gonna make sure to hit on the key points, right? So again, my name is William Rivera. I was born in Miami, Florida, but my mom, she was actually born in Esteli, Nicaragua. Okay, so she came here when she was 18, and at a very young age, I just remember watching my mom work really hard, working multiple jobs, but make very little money, right? So at a very young age, I already knew that working hard does not equal making a lot of money, right? So growing up with my mom and my other little brothers, I have 3 little brothers, 2 of them which were living with me. I always just saw my mom struggle, but she always, made sure there was food on the table and made sure that we were okay. And for the longest, I always felt so helpless to my mom because I was like, wow, I make no money. There's no way that I can help my mom. I'm literally just watching her struggle. So as soon as I turned 15 to where I was able to get a job, that's what I did, right? So I worked at QT, I worked at Steak and Shake, I worked at Cracker Barrel. I worked at all these jobs because I wanted to be able to help my mom out, right? Hopefully you've been getting value, and I'm gonna let you get back to your video, but I just wanna let you know that if you're watching this right now and you do have at least $5,000 to $10,000 to invest into products like this, and you want me and my team to help you with your Amazon journey so you can get results faster, I want you to waste no more time and go to the link in the description right now and click on that link that says you want to work with our team. All right, what that will do is it'll take you to a page where you can watch a training on how to immediately get started on making money on Amazon by selling products like this. All right, after you watch that video, it'll allow you to fill out an application to see if you qualify to work with me and my team. All right, so I'm gonna let you get back to the video. Just wanted to let you know that we are willing to work with you. All you got to do is click the link down below. See you. I was a terrible employee, man. I got fired from every single job simply because I always felt like my work and my effort wasn't really being rewarded for what they were paying me, right? And I would just bounce from job to job. Eventually, before I actually graduated, I was actually arrested on a felony charge because I was working at Dick's Sporting Goods at the time. And because I wanted to make more money, I started charging the people that would go to my school. I would charge them like $50 to $100 so they could get discounts when they would come shop at the store. Very stupid idea. Eventually Dick's caught on. I was arrested on a felony charge and I got a 5-year probation. Okay, so I was on probation for 5 years. Now that same year, that was actually my senior year, I got hit with that. I ended up graduating. I just remember just like my mom being so disappointed that I got arrested, and she had to put up money to bail me out, money that she didn't have, right? So that was like one of the lowest points of my life, and I was like, wow, I gotta pay my mom back. And not only for that, but for everything that she's done like my whole life, right? So I went to Georgia Gwinnett College, which was the only college that was accepting me at the time. My grades were pretty bad and I had the felony and everything. And I just remember going to school from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and just being extremely bored in these classes. Like really the only thing that I was thinking about while I was in these classes was, wow, I have to endure this for 4 years before I can make any money to put into my mom's pockets, right? And that just didn't sit well with me because I knew that I needed to help her now and not in 4 years. Like 4 years was just gonna take way too long. So I started doing research online. I got actually hired for an Amazon job in a warehouse, and it's crazy how my mindset was so different back then. I was actually happy to get this job, right? Amazon sent me an email. They were like, yo, you got the job. I was getting paid $11 an hour, and I was working from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to bash on the people that work 6 p.m. to 4 a.m., but there's not that many like 19, 20-year-olds that are working 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. So literally everyone that I was working with was way older than me, right? So I was working this job every single day. I started getting fat, started losing my social life because I was so drained. Like I had no energy because I was literally working 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. and then waking up at like 10 a.m. just in time for my first class at 11, and it was just a cycle that was repeating itself. Eventually, I started failing all of my classes, got put into academic probation. So not only am I already on probation, I got put on academic probation. And basically academic probation is when you're failing all your classes and the school basically tells you, yo, you're failing all your classes, so we're taking away your financial aid. You have to start paying for school, and if you don't get your grades right, you're gonna get dismissed. So at that time, I had to make a decision. Do I quit my job and just go all in school? Because obviously I can't balance both. And I actually ended up just picking the money over schooling because in my head, I had already decided school wasn't for me and I'm gonna figure something else out with this money that I'm making at Amazon, and I'm gonna figure something out to where I can eventually quit, right? So I kept working at Amazon, and I was doing research on Google, and I was researching how to make money online, side hustles, how to make passive income, how to make money with real estate with no money. Like, I was Googling all these things, right? Just doing a bunch of research, watching a bunch of YouTube videos, reading books. I started going to networking events in my area, and through doing all this research, I stumbled across a Ty Lopez ad. I'm sure y'all know who Ty Lopez is, right? And I remember in that ad, Ty Lopez talking about how you'll never get rich trading your time for money, and if you never figure out a way to make money in your sleep, you're gonna work for the rest of your life. And at the time, I didn't really know what he was talking about, but the ad intrigued me, right? So I clicked on it, and he had a program called 67 Steps, and I bought the program, right? It was like $67. I bought the program, and in that program, he's really just reciting all of the best lessons that he's learned in all of the books that he's read. And he's read like 200 books, right? So he was just putting me onto all this game because at the time I wasn't a big reader. Through just watching that program, he really like changed my mindset. So I literally have to attribute the success I have today to Ty, because if it wasn't for him, I would still have a broke mindset. But he started putting me onto all this game. It led me to, do more research, and I stumbled across e-commerce. And I started seeing all these kids that were my age, 18, 19, some of them even younger, making money online with this business model called dropshipping. Now, if you guys don't know what dropshipping is, it's basically selling products online without having to hold any inventory of the product. So you're actually making money before you have to go and buy the actual inventory. And when you buy the inventory, it doesn't even come to your house. Your supplier ships it directly to the customer, right? That business model intrigued me because I didn't have a lot of money at the time. And all these kids on YouTube were talking about how you can start this business with little to no money, right? So I started doing more research on dropshipping. I started watching every single dropshipping video on YouTube, and I was taking all of my Amazon checks that I was getting and putting it into buying dropshipping courses, buying dropshipping coaching, Facebook ads. Like, I was building Shopify stores. Like, I was just trying to make this thing work, right? A year went by. I made no money. I was just pouring money into this business that wasn't working for me. And eventually I was like, this dropshipping stuff isn't working for me. I was getting discouraged. But then I went to a networking event, which was in Gwinnett County, where I was living at the time. And I met this guy named Drew, similar age to me, lived in another county close to mine in Georgia. And he actually was making money doing dropshipping, right? And guys, there's a difference when you see someone online making money and then seeing someone in person that's actually making money doing the same thing, right? It becomes more real to you. I met Drew at the perfect time because I was discouraged. Like, I was ready to give up on this dream. But then when I met him and he told me he was making money dropshipping, it like lit a fire in me. And I was like, wow, this actually works. And I actually met someone that's doing it, and he can be my mentor, right? If I stay connected with him. I decided to quit my Amazon warehouse job and get a job at LA Fitness, right? And the reason why I did that is because, one, I was getting fat at Amazon. Two, I didn't want to work 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. anymore because it was killing my energy. And I wanted to not work 10, 12 hours a day. I wanted to instead work maybe 4 to 5. So I had more time to invest into this skill and learn it, right? So I got a job at LA Fitness. I went from getting paid $11 an hour to getting paid $8 an hour. So I actually took a pay cut. But the reason why I took this pay cut is because I knew, even though I'm losing $3 in pay, I'm actually getting more time to invest into this skill that is gonna pay me tenfold. So I started working at LA Fitness, and the benefits of working at LA Fitness was I got a free gym membership. So now I'm getting back in shape, right? I'm getting back in shape, and I'm able to put more time into learning this drop shipping business. Fast forward after another year, right? So about a year and a half of me making no money, I make my first sale online, make my first $10. I remember I was working front desk at LA Fitness, and then out of nowhere I hear that Shopify cha-ching notification on my iPhone, right? And I remember looking at it, and it was $10 in sales, and I was like, wow, I just made $10 when I usually have to trade an hour of my time to make 8, not even 10, to make 8. I would have to trade an hour of my time at this front desk, and I just made $10 with this phone just being in my pocket. And I knew that if I could make 10, I could make 100. As soon as I made that first sale, you might not believe me, or you might think I'm crazy for this, but as soon as I made that first sale, I quit my LA Fitness job. I talked to my manager, I got my last check, and I took that last check and I invested it into this guy that I was watching on YouTube at the time. His name is Ari. He's a pretty big YouTuber now. Shout out Ari. I paid him because he wasn't big at the time. He only had like 1,000 subscribers. I commented on one of his videos and I was like, yo, how much do you charge for a call? And man, I robbed this guy. He said $50 for a coaching call. Completely robbed him. I paid $50 to Ari, and that one coaching call that I had with him, him, he taught me Facebook ads and he was willing to coach me for that 50 bucks, right? So I took that coaching call. He explained Facebook ads to me in a very, very simple way. I understood it and I started running my first ads. Literally the second day that I turned the ads on, I got another sale and then another sale and then another sale. And by the time I knew it, I was hitting $100 days. Then those $100 days turned to $500 days. And then those $500 days turned to $1,000 days. And I literally was able to make over 100 grand from this one product in a couple months. And I tell you guys this because, a lot of people are hesitant to invest in themselves when in reality, me paying that $50 changed my life. And I didn't stop there, right? So I started making all this money with dropshipping. And for some reason, I don't know, maybe it was just God telling me to do it, but for some reason I started documenting my journey, right? And I was documenting my journey before I was making money, just posting what I was doing on Instagram. I was just documenting it, posting it on my story. Keep in mind, right? Keep in mind, this was at a time where I wasn't big on IG. I probably had a couple hundred followers. The only people following me were people that I knew in high school. So I'm posting all this content. People are swiping up like, yo, what is this? Like, what are you doing? Are you scamming? Like, they didn't understand it because e-commerce was like it was early. It was like 2018, 2017. It's not as big as it was now. I'm posting, I'm actually going live, showing people like what I'm doing. I have like one person in my live, 2 people in my live. Something just told me like, yo, just keep documenting the process, keep documenting the process. And I did. And then I started making money and I was documenting that, right? I was documenting me hitting my first $100 day. Then a week later, I'm hitting $200 days. Then a month later, I'm hitting $1,000 days. I'm documenting the whole thing. And my friends start to DM me. Like I'm starting to intrigue interest from my followers. They start to DM me. And at the time, I was actually, even though I was a dropout, I was still going to my college campus every single day. And the reason why I was going to my college campus is because I had no Wi-Fi where I lived, right? I lived in Stone Mountain, Georgia with my dad, my uncle, and my grandpa. And we had no Wi-Fi in the crib because they didn't really care about internet. All they would do is just work every day and then watch TV. So I didn't have internet. So what I would do is I would drive from Stone Mountain to Lawrenceville, Georgia Gwinnett College, and I would go to the library and I would go in one of the conference rooms and I would just, instead of working on school, I would just work on my Shopify business, right? So I would be in there all day working and my friends, they started hitting me up like, yo, can you teach me how to do this? And I started telling them like, yeah, I'm at GGC, just pull up. And I remember Dez was like one of my first friends that hit me up. He actually was playing college football at the time and he would FaceTime me at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And he'd be like, yo, bro, like I literally have to go to workouts in 1 hour. I hate this. They're not giving me any playing time. I'm sorry, Dez, but I'm just gotta be honest with him. Can you teach me like what you're doing? And I was like, yeah, bro, when are you gonna be back in Georgia? Because he was playing in Kansas at the time. And I remember he came back, I started showing him all the Shopify stuff and he started making money. Then my boy Ryan hit me up, who I played basketball with. He was on the basketball team with me. He hit me up, he was like, yo, I'm trying to learn this. He started making money, right? And then through them making money and them telling other people, a lot of people started finding out what I was doing and they were trying to basically pay me to learn. So what I did was I started charging people for one-on-ones. I was meeting up with them in Gwinnett, just running like a local business kind of. Wasn't really thinking too much of it. And eventually it started getting overwhelming. A lot of people were hitting me up on Instagram and stuff. And I was like, wow, like I can't help everyone one-on-one. So I should create a program around this, right? And that's what I did. Now, keep in mind, guys, like in my county, people weren't really buying courses like that. I know now it's kind of popular, like everyone has a course, but back then it wasn't really like that, all right? Like Ty Lopez was like the OG of courses back then. I started a course called Ecom Degree University. Some of you guys may know about it. At the time, I really created it because it was a need. A lot of people were hitting me up and I was like, you know what? I can't teach everyone one-on-one, so I'm gonna just create a program that I can charge people maybe $100 for. They can get in, they can learn something, and that's that. And if I make 10 grand from this program, then I'm lit. That was my mindset at the time. People started buying it. I was selling it. I was making, decent money, like $5K a month from this program. I was like, this is crazy. A bunch of people started getting results, and through a bunch of people getting results, they started referring a bunch of people. So now they're referring a bunch of people to my program, and I start making 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month, guys, from a digital product that I created one time. My goal at the time wasn't even to make a lot of money off courses. It kind of just happened, right? So start making all this money from this digital product. And what do? I just dump that money back into my Shopify business. So I start testing different products. I make 6 figures off one product. I make 20K off one product, 30K off another, like going crazy with Shopify dropshipping, right? I remember I did that for like a couple years, moved to Atlanta. I basically had like my own frat of a bunch of just young entrepreneurs. We would get lit every day and just build businesses. And it was a crazy time, cool time, right? But COVID hit and nothing really changed. Like I kept making money online. People never stopped buying stuff online. But what was interesting to me was Amazon sales started to go crazy. A bunch of things on Amazon, like the prices were insane at the time. And I also had a lot of time to myself because obviously we all did. We were all at home, just sitting at home. I had been doing Shopify for like 4 years already, but it was kind of just boring to me. As an entrepreneur, like once you already start making money, you kind of get bored of the businesses that you run and you start to explore other things, right? So I started looking into Amazon because for the past 4 years, all I did was Shopify dropshipping. So I started looking into Amazon, bought a couple courses, watched a couple videos, and I was like, wow, like you can actually sell name brand products, like for example, this Red Bull on Amazon, and you don't actually have to run ads because the search volume on Amazon is crazy. Like for y'all that don't know this, Amazon is actually the #2 search engine right behind Google, right? Google's #1, Amazon's #2. So, and it's a buying search engine, right? When people type on Amazon, they're not doing research, they're looking for something to buy. That intrigued me. I thought that you had to create your own brand and sell it on Amazon. Like I thought you had to buy products from AliExpress or Alibaba, create your own brand and list that on Amazon. I thought that's the way that people were making money on Amazon. I found out that no, you can actually open up wholesale accounts with big brands like Red Bull, like I said, and then sell their products on Amazon. And that it made me feel a lot better that I didn't have to create my own product or run any ads to make sales, right? It was way different than Shopify. I tried it out. I started opening up a couple wholesale accounts with different companies, listed their products on Amazon, the same day, sold. And I was like, wow, like they weren't lying. Like the search volume on Amazon is crazy. So I started doing more research and I found out that there was this hot product on Amazon that people were buying. And it was a hazmat suit from this company called Tyvek. And I was able to actually source that product at a very cheap cost. And it was selling for triple the price on Amazon. And within 25 days, guys, I made over $300,000 with that one product during COVID. When I did that, obviously I'm documenting it still. I've been documenting everything I do my whole life. When I did that, people started going crazy on Instagram. They're like, what, bro? Like you do Amazon now? Like, how did you make that much money? And of course, me, I'm like, okay, now let me teach these people and let me monetize it, right? Why not profit off of helping other people profit as well? So I create an Amazon program on everything that I've learned, in the Amazon side. I drop it and then people start getting crazy results, right? And then COVID ends. Amazon sales don't stop. Amazon is still going crazy. And that's when I understood, wow, Amazon is such a better business than Shopify. I actually stopped doing Shopify completely. Now, that's not to bash on Shopify or say that it doesn't work, because there are tons of people still making money with Shopify dropshipping. And I actually still include Shopify dropshipping in my program because I still believe in it. I also understand that Amazon is much more of a scalable and sustainable business than Shopify. It's mainly what I push now because I've seen people get results way faster with this Amazon than they do with Shopify dropshipping. And Amazon made my program a lot more popular than it was, right? So I went from having like 1,000 students pre-COVID to after COVID, we're at like 6,000 students. To now, we're at over 10,000 students worldwide, right? If you count all of my Shopify income, my Amazon income, and then the income that I've made off education, in those 5 years, I was able to do well over $20 million in online sales. So yeah, that's my story. Pretty crazy. I would have never imagined that I would have a community of tens of thousands of people that I've taught how to make money online. Because keep in mind, I'm an introvert at heart. For me to think that I would have coached over 10,000 people is insane. For me to even see this camera in front of my face and know that I have an audience of over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube is insane. And that just goes to show that if you put in work, if you put in effort into something, if you're consistent long enough, you can't even fathom what is actually possible, right? In my head, I was like, if I can make 10K off this program, I'm lit. I ended up making over $10 million with that program. In my head, I was like, yo, if I can start this dropshipping business and be able to replace my 9-to-5 income, I'm lit. I ended up making hundreds of thousands of dollars with that dropshipping business and with the Amazon business, right? So guys, I say that to say this. Imperfect action is always, 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 always better than no action. There is never gonna be a time in your life where you're gonna have everything figured out. A lot of you guys are watching this video and you want to start an Amazon business, or you want to start a dropshipping business, or it doesn't even have to be that. You want to start a pressure washing business or a landscaping business, whatever, but you haven't done it yet because you're waiting to have all of the steps. You're waiting to have the whole blueprint in front of you so you can go and take action. But guess what? I hate to break it to you. You're never going to have all the steps. You're never going to have the full blueprint. You have to go and take that first imperfect action step first. You're going to figure it out along the way. One of my mentors, he says this quote and I love it. And it goes, commit first, figure out the rest later. If you never commit, you're never going to take that first step. All right. So if you take anything away from this video, I want you to take away the fact that taking action is better than taking no action. All right. That's why the richest people in the world aren't the smartest people in the world. They're usually just people that have amazing execution and people that take relentless action. All right. So again, that's my story. Hopefully you could take a gem away from it. If you did like this video, I would appreciate if you could like the video, maybe leave me a comment, maybe ask me a question. I answer all of my comments and I'm really trying to blow up on YouTube. So please help me, guys. Like the video and I got some more fire content coming. I appreciate y'all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.